Hello, iExplore people. Welcome to week 3 of distance learning. I am Mr. Huntoon, and the purpose of today's video is to help you finish the resume research presentation. The last 2 weeks we have been working on researching the first 3 slides. As you remember in week 1, our whole focus was on you getting your cluster research done and you picking a person from our approved list. The only pitfall that I have seen from slide 1 is people have kind of not picked a person from the approved list. Hopefully that's been corrected by now. So slide 1 was really easy. All you had to do is find a picture of your person, put their name on the top, put your name on the bottom, and you're ready to move on. Last week, your job was to get slides 2 and 3 done. Slide 2, again, was an easy one. It just really required more work on your behalf. You had to find contact information for your person. Let's go ahead and look at that first bullet first off. That's basically me sending a physical hard copy letter to my person. I had to find an address somewhere. I got lucky because Stephen King's home address is very well known in Maine for whatever reason, who knows? But again, I got lucky. Now, if you are somebody that did not get so lucky, you need to find an address that you can possibly send a hard copy to your person. That may be an agency that represents your person, or it could be where they actually work. Either way, you need to have some kind of hard copy address listed on your contact information sheet. All right. The second bullet, Twitter account. Some of y'all did find Twitter accounts for your people. Some of you didn't. If they don't have a Twitter account, take that bullet off. Don't just leave it there. Same thing with websites. If they have an Instagram page, that would be great to put up there also. All right. One of the things I've noticed from some people with the slide is that their slide looks very generic. There was no effort to change these pictures out or an effort to possibly put some visual aids on this slide. If all you have is just a white slide with black letters on it, it looks very generic and boring. So if you are one of those people, go back and fix that. Make it look nice. Generic, not so nice. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to slide 3 now. Let's talk about education. Most of you, again, did a good job on this slide. Remember, when you are talking about education, everything that gets listed on this page should be in reverse order. And what I mean by that is your most recent degree, your most recent educational experience should be on top. Stephen King's last educational experience was the University of Maine. He did not go beyond getting a bachelor's degree. That was the end for him. So that is why the University of Maine is on top. His second educational experience was just high school. That's why that's on there. All right. Now, if Stephen had more than one degree that's not an honorary degree, I would have put that on there. All right. So if he had a master's degree, I would have taken Lisbon Falls High School off of this sheet, and I would have had the University of Maine listed twice. So keeping that in mind, please make sure that you are listing all of their educational experiences. All right. Honorary degrees. Let's talk about those. Stephen King has a ton of honorary degrees. So what is an honorary degree? I agree to come speak at your school, and during that one-day process, they're going to trot up a piece of paper to me and say, hey, Stephen King, here you go. You have an honorary degree from our school. Should that be listed on my sheet? No, it shouldn't be. In fact, I'm probably just going to go home and throw that away because it's just a piece of paper. It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. So keep that in mind. A lot of your people will have honorary degrees. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about slides 4 and 5 now. Slides 4 and 5 are what you're going to be doing this week. So slide 4 is my work experience. Work experience is just like educational experiences. I always go from my most recent job experience to my least recent job experience. So obviously, if I'm looking at this slide, I had to kind of make some assumptions on my person. This information may not jump out at you from the web page and say, hey, this is where I'm working now. In my case, I had to do some digging. So I had to go find out what was the last book Stephen King actually published. In this case, I discovered that his most recent work was published by Simon Schuster Publishing, comma. His role at that company was to write, so therefore he was a writer, comma. Dates of employment with them, 2015 to now, 2015 to present, all right? Before that, he was, again, a writer. He worked for Scribner Publishing from 1995 to 2015. His third least recent experience was from 1973 to 1995 as a writer for Doubleday Press. And his least recent experience was his first job out of college. He was actually a teacher at a private school in Maine for 3 years. That's interesting. At least I found it interesting. So, again, most recent to least recent. All right? You should at least have 3 to 4 things listed here. And while I'm at that, let's make sure this slide does not look generic. Let's go ahead and put some logos of companies or schools on this page to make it look interesting. It can be even pictures of your person. Make me be drawn to your presentation. Okay, so here we are on slide 4. Let's go ahead and move on to slide 5. And slide 5 is the last slide of your presentation. And at that point, you'll be halfway done with this project. Slide 5 is nothing more than accomplishments and awards. Everybody that you guys and girls have chosen, they have accomplishments and awards, and you can find those. You might notice that there is something that all these dates have in common. Just like with slides 3 and 4, it goes from most recent to least recent. Stephen King has 5 pretty outstanding accomplishments and awards, and he has a lot of other stuff in between that aren't as significant as these. I picked what I felt was the most significant awards that he has achieved in his lifetime. Everything that you see on this list was very significant. So, as you find these accomplishments and awards, please keep that in mind. Maybe do some research on these accomplishments and see actually what they were. For instance, I did not know what the National Medal of Arts is. I did not know this. Here's Stephen King getting the National Medal of Arts from President Obama. That must be a pretty significant award if President Obama is putting the medal around his neck. So, keep that in mind. Do a little research on the awards and accomplishments that you see there. All right? Now, a lot of you struggle with your research, and obviously slides 4 and 5 is going to require a lot of research on your behalf. Let me give you some tips and tricks on that. First off, you guys have this wonderful thing called Google. All right? Google's really simple to use, especially if you put just a little bit of effort into it. As my example, I'm going to go ahead and hit My Harrison, which some of you chose from our list. My Harrison is an FBI agent. So I'm going to go ahead and type in FBI after her name. I'm going to do a nice little Google search, and I get all kinds of things with her name on it. She's not even in the FBI anymore. So Obviously, my first stop is going to be Road Trip Nation. Uh, I'm pretty sure all the names on our approved list, they were pulled from Road Trip Nation. Wonderful resource. Videos of My Harrison talking and her milestones and how she got to the point where she is at this point, because she is now a retired FBI agent. Look at this. There's her education. It doesn't tell us what high school she was at, but we don't have to put it on our sheet because she has a graduate degree. All right. So you might want to keep that in mind as you go forward. A lot of this stuff is on Road Trip Nation. Also, I'm going to go ahead and hit my back button there. And here's her LinkedIn page. Wow. Look at this. How easy is this going to be? There she is. That is our My Harrison, is it not? And look at this. There is all of her work experience listed for us. Most professional people are going to have a LinkedIn page. I personally don't know anybody that doesn't. My Harrison, for those of you who have done My Harrison, this is going to make your job 20 times easier. All right? So there's my tips and tricks for you. That took me like about 20 seconds to find. So again, when you go out there to Google, put some effort into it. See what you can find. All right? Good enough? All right. As you go forward this week with these last two slides, if you have any problems or questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We will get back to you. Good luck. Have fun with this, and we'll see you next week. All right? Thanks a lot. Have a good week. Stay safe. Stay well. Thanks. Bye.